Hello, it's Chaboy. I'm here to talk to you today about something that is quite serious and is quite topical, the EU referendum. It's an issue that divides many people in the UK, unless you live outside of England. So, really, it's a decision that divides England because everybody else kind of decides to stay in. Many have called it the biggest question of a generation, much like they called the Scottish referendum the biggest decision of a generation, the response to climate change, terrorism, financial crash, the 2015 general election, and the 2016 presidential race in the United States. So it's one of the biggest questions of a generation. And some have asked me, well, nobody actually, but Hugo, what will you be voting on the 23rd of June, which is this Thursday? And this is a difficult question. Normally, before I make any kind of decision, I weigh up the consequences of that decision and then the opportunity cost that is born from that decision. And this process normally takes several months. And it's quite debilitating, but still it's a process that I will stick by. And the EU referendum isn't any different because I've been debating this question for several months now. And I'm still no closer to an answer, so I'm going to talk about it with you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk about reasons for Brexit. Off the top of my head, a main reason here is that many socialists want to remain in the European Union, so that's a push factor for me, as it should be everyone. There's a lot of sunlight in Mediterranean countries, that's a push factor. Britain is effectively run by a frail old German woman called Angela. Also, I think all forms of human association are a terrible idea, and I think the European Union is the biggest form of human association and cooperation, and that just sounds absolutely terrible, so that's a reason to go. Furthermore, Britain contributes about £13 billion a year to the EU annual budget, and this money could be spent in better ways within Britain, such as government subsidised sun cream and building a wall around the UK. And if that's too expensive, just building a wall around England. Linking back to the frail German overlord comment, I think the EU is quite undemocratic because they have unelected officials which pass and create laws and generally represent me, and I don't think that that's the British way. But on the other side, and the reasons to remain would be that a lot of chocolate is made in the EU, and if we were to leave the EU, I'm pretty sure the price of chocolate would go up. So that's a definite reason to stay. There's also some other reasons to stay, such as security. There would be a financial recession due to Brexit and Britain's place in the wider world. But really, the chocolate issue is key here. So yeah, that's a very difficult question to answer, and I don't know if I'll have a decision by the 23rd. Hopefully, you guys will. Either way, I'm going to be quite angry with the decision. It's been Chaboy with an educational message on a key issue